Everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today, or tonight's video, we're going to talk about one of the most important parts of the outdoors. Be right back with you. Welcome back again, and before we get started, I'd like to ask you to please subscribe to my channel. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below, whatever the comment that may be. And share with your friends and enemies. Help the channel grow, please. So, a lot of people ask me about, because I teach bushcraft, I teach outdoor, I teach survival. I teach all these little things. And do I know it all? No, I don't know it all. But I make a big attempt at knowing all that I can. And I tell people that you will never know it all. So you have to keep at it and keep at it. I believe there are three ways of learning about the outdoors and getting outdoors and doing what you have to do. And the first thing is to get out there and do it, okay? You're going to make mistakes, but you'll learn from those mistakes. Failure is only when you give up. So just don't give up and keep learning. There's other ways of learning from the outdoors, and that is taking a course, okay? I've taken courses. First of all, I've made lots of mistakes in the outdoors too, but I've also taken courses. And I've been taking courses in the outdoor, from learning with my grandfather and my dad and my brothers and my cousins, and doing it on my own out there, to taking courses when it comes to bushcraft courses, survival courses, and just the experience also getting out there and learning from people who know. But there's always another way of learning too. And besides Googling it or YouTubing it, which is what we're doing now, this has become the fourth way of doing it. But that is by educating yourself. And educating yourself in a way by reading and learning and getting your brain around things, okay? And you need, the more, I tell everybody this, the more you have here, the less you have to have back there, okay? And it gets to the point to where you can get out there and you can build your tools and you can build your shelter, you can build your fire, you can hunt for animals, you can prepare water, you can do all these things, cooking, all this kind of stuff, and go from surviving to thriving, okay? And what you want to do is you want to go from surviving to thriving the quickest way possible. So that depends on a lot of things. First of all, what you know in your head, what kind of tools you may be carrying with you, and what the terrain determines, okay? If we throw you in a white room that's as big as a football stadium, and there's nothing in there, and we tell you to survive it, and you're buck naked, can you do it? The chances are, if there's no food life, there's no foliage, there's no nothing, there's no natural stuff in there, the chances are you're just going to die from starvation and thirst. But that's not reality. We hope. That's like prison, but we hope that's not reality. So, of course, there are the threes, you know, 3 minutes without air, 3 days without water, and 3 weeks without food, okay? And 3 minutes dealing with somebody that really irritates you. Those are the threes. So there are lots of books out there that you can gain this knowledge from. I'm a book person. I like to have something functional in my hand. And there are lots of stuff out there. I'm going to show you a little bit of what I have here. But then what we're going to talk about, I'm going to talk about probably what the best book that I've found that is a really good general subject is going to get you into the meat of things. And if you have that one, then you can learn everything across the board for living in the outdoors. I have some books like Wilderness Living and Survival Skills. You see this right here. You see what's above it right here, Camping and Woodcraft by Kephart. And of course, there's a first aid handbook right there. This is very important right here. I have the Scout Handbook. I have basic survival skills right here. You know, I have the Ray Mears Outdoor Survival Handbook, Ray Mears, Wild Food. You know, these are all, you know, Ray Mears is one of those guys that I like a lot. I like him a lot better than Dave Canterbury. Not that I don't like Dave Canterbury, but I just think that his books are much more functional. Ranger Handbook, if we're preparing for war. The Book of Camp Lore and Woodcraft. This is also another good book. This is by D.C. Beard. And then you have Nesmuk's Woodcraft and Camping. Very good books. Backcountry Camping by Bill Rivera. Very good book, by the way. It's probably one of the better ones of the year. Ray Mears Essential Bushcraft. And then you have the whole line of Foxfire books right here. Very good books. Then you have Survival Handbook. This is Ray Mears also. And then you have the good old-fashioned Lofty Wiseman Survival Handbook, okay? Now, these survival handbooks are just that. It's about the survival aspects of it, getting you into the mindset of survival. And look, like I said, you want to go from survive to thrive the quickest possible. And the only way you're going to get there is by knowing just some really basic skills, some stuff that's going to get you there. And the book that I would suggest, and this book is not a new book. It's an old book. It's going to take a little bit of finding and that kind of stuff. It was 1967 when this right here was first copyrighted, this version of it. And it's the Boys and Men Field Book from the Boy Scouts of America. Get a good look at that, okay? The reason why I like this book right here, and it's quite old school, but old school still works, okay? This book goes from, and it was written for, it's called the Field Book. It was written for Boy Scouts, Explorers, Scouters, Educators, and Outdoorsmen, okay? And the purpose of this book, the Field Book has a past and future. Almost 1 million copies of the original Scout Field Book were bought, used, and treasured by Boy Scouts and Scouters. The new Field Book not only captured the spirit and the flavor of the past, it also brings the latest information on the rugged outdoor living. Now, the newer field books, they're pretty good, but they're not nearly as good, I would say, as I hear, because they don't have all the most updated items that you're going to find in the new books. The new books are going to have the newest sleeping bags, the newest tents, the newest backpacks, all this kind of stuff. The field book actually is going to show you how to do a lot of this stuff without all that, okay? And some of the content here in it is really good because it's stuff that you're going to need, okay? And you're going to really need, okay? It's going to prepare you for hitting the trail and how to get you ready for hiking, map and compass reading, camping gear, camping, wood tools, rope work, fires, cooking, physical fitness, swimming, woodcraft, safety and first aid, high adventure, winter camping, survival, the world of nature, plant kingdom, animal kingdom, conserving resources, the earth, weather, the heavens, between adventures, and then that's already a lot, okay? And that's all in this 559-page book. Now, this book right here is all in black and white, but it's going to help you, prepare you for all these things, and it has some recipes for food also. So if you really want to make a go at really getting ready to get in the outdoors, the Boy Scouts is where it's at. And they're going to get you ready quicker than anybody else is, okay? I love these books, and these books can be used for individuals and for teams, okay? You get a couple of them, you pass them out, you make photocopies of them, whatever, and it goes into a lot of good stuff. I mean, it shows you what you'll need, the 10 essentials, what you'll need for different kinds of hiking and camping, in reference to clothes-wise, this kind of like that, how to read and use a map and compass, how to prepare food, how to do different kinds of cooking, setting up camp. When I go camping, I don't bring a tent unless I have to have a tent. That's usually in reference to because of maybe the weather, but not necessarily the weather. I mean, even in the wintertime, I'll go out with just a tarp, okay, or a basha. Or building a structure, okay? If you're allowed to build a structure, then build a structure. I'm not really for building a lot of structures, and the reason why is because a lot of people, they just build them everywhere, and next thing you know, you have all these things built in the woods, and it's not necessary. I mean, bring a tarp with you, put your tarp up, and sleep under that. But the field book is probably, I mean, plant and animal life, even shows you all the insect life, how to fish, this kind of like that, how to use and how to saw timber, this kind of stuff. I mean, it's about all that kind of stuff. And I highly suggest that you get yourself one of the field books. Look, the cover just popped off of it. Oh, it just makes me want to cry. But it is the best, one of the best books out there. And, you know, look, before you get out there, there's some basic things you need to know. But I mean, first aid, you need to know self-aid. You need to know have a good level of physical fitness. You know, you need to have the right equipment, the right materials, you know, the right kind of shoes. And terrain dictates, the seasons dictate. All this kind of stuff determine what you're going to need. You go with the basics, and then from there you build on it, and this shows you how. And everything from an individual to a team, a group of people who go out, you know, how to prepare yourself. So if you're one of those kind of people who like to go car camping, you know, it tells you what you're going to need, okay, for the family. So you don't overdo it or underdo it, you know. A quick thing that happened to me probably about 20 years ago. The kids were little, and I was still married, and we were up in the mountains, not too far from our home, and we had bought a bunch of stuff to go grilling on, to just basically pull over and pull out the grill at a little small mini grill that you buy at the store, light it up, and get the fire going and put the food on it, okay? Well, guess what I'd forgotten at home? I forgot how to make fire. I forgot my fire kit. I had nothing in my vehicle to produce fire, okay? Unless I was going to go in survival mode, and I wasn't about to do that just to build a small fire, okay? Sadly, in the end, we went home, and then in the backyard, we built the fire. We did it that way. It still worked out, but it embarrassed me to a level to where I had to be very humble about the whole thing, okay? And from then on out, I never leave home without one, but I also have something in my car that I can always produce fire. I can always filter water. I can always have shelter. I can always stay warm, okay? I have a repair kit in my car. I have all these things in my car, in my vehicle on a permanent basis, so that way I'll always be ready. And one thing that the Boy Scouts have always taught, and that's to be prepared. So be prepared. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little video. And if you want a list of these books that I have, and if you want more information about the field book, I'll leave it down in the comments below. And if you have any questions, just please leave them down in the comments yourself, okay? And I look forward to hearing from you and what you think about what I just said. I hope you liked the video. Please, again, subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment down below. Give me a thumbs up. And share with your friends and enemies. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. You all take care of yourselves and have a good night. As usual, this thing's not working. So I got to reach up and get the button. Good night, guys.